Hey, what's up, guys? It's Lunatic Dad here, your boy. We got week 2 of the football picks. By the way, last week, if you checked it and everything else, Dad went 13 and 3. 13 and 3, which is outstanding. By the way, a special shout out goes out to my son Michael and his beautiful wife. We had the wedding yesterday. I just want to say I had a fantastic time being with friends, family, and everything else. It was really a great time. Also, I want to ask you guys if you could do Dan a favor before I begin this football picks. If you guys can go over to Lunatic Froggy's channel, Lunatic Froggy's channel. She's getting so close to 1K and everything else. If you can do Dad that favor, would be much appreciated. All right, let's kick this shit off for week 2 of my football picks. I was right on Buffalo. Buffalo did beat Miami on Thursday. I did not upload this until now. So, yes, so far Dad is 1 0. The next pick is Las Vegas Raiders versus the Baltimore Ravens. Listen, Ravens in a wash. Lamar Jackson and the boys. Isaiah Likely, the tight end. That boy's on fire. And actually, Dad has him in his fantasy picks and everything else for fantasy football. And Isaiah Likely, go boy, you go ahead and light it up. Plus the defense of the Ravens is just going to overpower the Raiders. I look at this game as to be a complete whitewash. I got Baltimore. Next one, LA Chargers versus Carolina Panthers. Well, basically, Carolina Panthers are putting a college team out there. I mean, they really are even worse than they were last year, and I don't, that franchise is in complete disarray. There is no way. I look for Jim Harbaugh, the coach. You know, the coach that came from Michigan, and now he's the coach of the Chargers. I look for him to go 2-0 and everything else. Let's go, Giant, Mr. Herbo, quarterback. He's badass, guys. Listen, they don't have all the receivers like they used to have and everything last year because they traded them all off and everything. But with that being said, I look for the Chargers to go on the road to Carolina and get a second victory. Next one, New Orleans Saints versus Dallas Cowboys. Well, what can I say? What did I say? Last week I said Dallas would dominate. Guess what? Dallas dominated. And I'm not a big Cowboys fan, but I really don't have any bone to pick on this one. But Zach Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, I mean, you've got everything. They got the run game, they got the pass game. The defense is pretty solid and everything else. They are susceptible to the pass. They are susceptible to it, but I still look for Dallas at home in a whitewash to go ahead and destroy New Orleans. Next one I got is Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay versus Detroit Lions. Well, again, as I said last week, that Detroit would win. Now, mind you, how they won and everything else, having to go into overtime, was not a totally impressed, but I do see Detroit taking this game over Tampa Bay. Next one I got is Indianapolis Colts versus Green Bay Packers. Well, everybody damn knows that Dad is not a Green Bay Packer fan, but without Jordan Love, they got this guy, this bum coming in off the street and everything else. Has, I believe, got a 1 star or whatever the hell he played last year or a couple of years or whatever. He ain't nothing. He's one of the worst as far as percentages quarterbacks in the NFL. Going with Green Bay? Hell no. Indianapolis Colts, I look for you to make the Green Bay Cheeseheads 0-2. Next one I got is Cleveland Browns versus Jacksonville Jaguars. Cleveland looked awful. I mean, their defense looked awful. I mean, downright horrible last week against Dallas and everything else. And I actually look for this to continue. I think Trevor Lawrence and the boys are going to go ahead and get a victory. I think Cleveland will go 0-2, and Jacksonville, I'm picking on this game. San Francisco 49ers versus Minnesota Vikings. Very intriguing. Now Minnesota's stepping up in class, up against one of the best teams in the NFC. And in my eyes, I think Frisco goes ahead and destroys Minnesota in Minnesota and brings them back down to earth and not on the water. Listen, Minnesota Vikings, no, 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 no. San Francisco 49ers are going to whoop that ass. Next one I got is Seattle versus New England Patriots. Well, this game does intrigue me. New England got a win last week against Cincinnati. Everybody knows Cincinnati. Burrow's coming back after being off all the time from injury last year and everything. It's going to take him time to get footing. Plus, he did not have his full arsenal of receivers. He's only going to have Jamar Chase anyway for this game, but I think that's going to be good enough to go into New England and go ahead and win that game. So, that's what I got on that one. I believe Seattle will beat New England. The next game I got is New York Jets versus the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee gave the Bears a little run for their money against my beloved and everything else. Bears had to come back in the second half, and it was a great comeback. Caleb Williams did not look that good, but we'll talk about that when the Bears go ahead and play tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and take my happy ass with the New York Jets against will win with Aaron Rodgers. I believe that even though again I'm not an Aaron Rodgers fan, I'm not going to, but I have to be fair in my assessments and what I see, what's going on this early portion of the season. I do look for the Jets defense to rebound and everything else. I look for the Jets to beat the Tennessee Titans. Next one, I got New York Giants versus the Washington Redskins. As I said, I will always call them the Redskins, and I don't give a shit. They will be the Redskins always, and not the Commanders. I get it. Their name is the Commanders, but no. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and go with the Washington Redskins to go ahead and beat the New York Giants. New York Giants, you guys, oh, that team's pretty bad, pretty bad. I know Giants fans don't want to hear that from Lunatic Dad, but it's facts. Facts are facts. Next one, I got Los Angeles Rams versus Arizona Cardinals. I look for the Rams to go ahead. They almost beat the Detroit Lions. That was one hell of a game, guys. You guys got to admit if you watched that game. But I do look for the Rams to rebound with Cooper Cup. They got, remember, if you got fantasy, no Puka Nakua. He will not. He's out for 4 weeks on IR, which kind of hurts my fantasy team. Kind of sucks. But hey, it is what it is. It's football and everything else. So I'm taking the Rams over the Arizona Cardinals. Next one I got is the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Denver Broncos. Well, I do look for Denver at home to win. I do not. I mean, Pittsburgh, they had 6 field goals last week. They couldn't get into the end zone or nothing. I believe they're going to come down to reality. Justin Fields, I'm sorry, buddy, but you're just a running back. I've been totally convinced of that. That Justin Fields is just a running back. He's not even a quarterback to me that's worth talking about anymore. So I'm going with Denver Broncos. Next one I got Cincinnati Bengals versus Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs all day. Hey, listen, Kansas City Chiefs is Dad's second favorite team in the AFC. Bears are number one always, but I do like Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelsey, Isaiah Worthy. To remember that boy, that rookie, and everything else. He's the real deal, man. I sitting there watching how he's working with Patrick Mahomes and everything else. I mean, come on, Kansas City at home. I think this one's going to be a blowout. I really do. I think Cincinnati's going to get their asses handed to them again. And so I'm going with Kansas City Chiefs. Next one I got is Chicago Bears, my beloved, versus the Houston Texans. Well, my heart wants the Bears. My heart does want the Bears. I picked them in my pick'ems because I can never go pick against them. It's just my unwritten rule that I will always be far as always picking my Bears. So you guys will get used to that. But if I was a betting man, and betting on the game, I would go Houston. But for the sake of my pick'ems today, is that I'm going with the Bears. Next one and the final one I got for the week is the Atlanta Falcons versus the Philadelphia Eagles. So, well, this one's pretty locked, done, over. Philadelphia at home in a blowout against Atlanta. I really believe that Philadelphia is going to blow out Atlanta. I don't think Atlanta has no shot in hell to win this game. So, let's recap of the ones. Buffalo, Dad had right, so he's already 1-0, right? All right. Then I got Baltimore, Los Angeles Chargers. I got the Dallas Cowboys, Detroit Lions, Indianapolis Colts, Jacksonville Jaguars, San Francisco 49ers. Then I got the Seattle, and I got New York Jets, and I got Washington Redskins slash Commanders. Then I also have Los Angeles Rams. I got Denver Broncos at home, Kansas City at home, Chicago Bears on the road, and then I've got Philadelphia Eagles at home. Guys, if you enjoyed this, make sure that you go and hit that subscribe, hit that thumbs up for next week's picks and everything else. Hey, remember, Dad bets on FanDuel. You don't have to, but Dad does, and everything else. Remember, these are only Dad's opinions. These are only my picks. But I did go 13-3 last week. I do follow the NFL very closely and everything else. So, hey, take it for what it's worth. Guys, you have a blessed Sunday. Enjoy your day. And remember, give me a hell yeah for Lunatic Dad, and give me a hell yeah for Lunatic Froggy to 1K. I deeply appreciate each and every one of you, and I will smell you later. Peace.